A year is all it takes. This is something I've heard time and time again from friends, loved ones, and the like. I never really believed it until recently. In 2023, a lot changed about who I was as a person, including my morals, values, personalities, and things I want to create. If you don't know me, I am Pockamune. Most people call me Pocky. I'm an artist and an illustrator and a VTuber on Twitch. I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say that I'm not the same now as I was last year. And thank God for that, because if I was still the same person, I think I would kick my own ass. Being a mid to late 20-something adult, there are a lot of changes that your brain goes through. Your brain is maturing and finally reaching its final forms, and your body is too. When you're in your 20s, you become about 20 different people throughout your years until 30. At least, I think so. I'm not going to claim I'm a neurologist or psychologist, but based on my own experience, I can say I have lived many lives in my 26 years on Earth. As a creative, your artwork grows and changes with you. Art pieces, sketches, doodles are all evidence of your growth and experience evolving over time. For me, the art I made when I was 13 is drastically different from what I created in college, and what I created in college is different from what I am creating now. I sat down and thought of things that I've been making recently, and I realized that they just don't bring me joy all that much. It's not that I hate it or anything, but I've been making art that I think would get good traction within the community that I'm a part of as a VTuber. While that is all fine and good, I want to make more stuff for myself and to develop my storytelling skills, as well as my techniques and art knowledge. So, just like riding a bike, I'm gonna get back on and try to reteach myself things I learned in school, and try to journey forward with the mentality of making more personal pieces that tell more of a narrative, and to practice the basics more to ensure that I'm able to make pieces I really am proud of. That, and to mix with my modern day knowledge of what I like to create. My journey didn't start here, and it's far from being over, so I am looking forward to sharing the upcoming journey with you. My main goal with creating the videos that will document this journey is to motivate me to make more art. And so in order to do that, I'm going to be making some plans and some subcategory goals. Goal number 1. Draw more in my sketchbook. Now, I'm not going to be making any lofty goals of finishing an entire sketchbook in a certain amount of time, and nor am I going to be limiting myself to just filling one sketchbook. My main goal is just to draw in a sketchbook more than I am now, which is not at all. I may have lied though. I already started this goal in sketching pretty much every day in this sketchbook I got from Mastery a few days now. And honestly, I can say it's pretty cathartic. The first page, of course, is chaotic and does not have a lot of structure, but it is a start. A sketchbook isn't meant to be filled with refined ideas or pages or final pieces. It is just to use the sketchbook, to plan ideas, get out concepts, and make notes and experiment. So that's what I've been doing. Now, keeping a sketchbook is a lot harder than it seems. You may think that you have to draw every single day in it, but I am not going to be giving myself that kind of constraint. I know who I am as a person, and my ADHD would never allow me to draw every single day in a sketchbook. I may try, and of course I will, but it's going to be a lot more difficult than you may think. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. And I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube of sketchbook walkthroughs and sketchbook tours, and they've been very inspiring to me to draw in a sketchbook, and I haven't done that since college, but even my college sketchbook has not been finished. It's very empty. There's only a few pages in my college sketchbook, and in high school I finished my high school sketchbook when I was in college, so I'm hoping to at least use this one a lot more, and I think a lot of artists can relate to having quite a few empty sketchbooks, so hoping this is not going to be another case of that. You don't have to have anything fancy to have a sketchbook. Like, this is something that I bought for myself that's quite expensive, but if you just want to make a similar goal to just draw in your sketchbook more, then do that. You can find a cheap sketchbook, you can even draw on printer paper, and just make a goal for yourself to draw for at least 10 to 30 minutes. That's what I've been doing. And keeping habit trackers is another way that this can be achieved. So I think that would be a good way to implement it in a lot of ways. Goal number 2. Apply the techniques I practice in my sketchbook into some digital art pieces. While I enjoy the feel and the immediateness of a sketchbook, digital media is still my main medium. I enjoy using Clip Studio, and I enjoy painting and illustrating within the program. I also understand that traditional techniques don't entirely translate to the digital form. However, using the practice for anatomy, color theory, etc., I think it isn't so off base to claim that it will improve my digital art. I think using my sketchbook in order to learn more traditional techniques like color theory, anatomy, and things like that will help assist my learning in digital form. Of course, there's many different techniques in the digital form that you can't do in traditional art, and so I think having that basis of the traditional will help even elevate the digital techniques that I know. I still have a long way to go in terms of digitally, so I think having both a digital sketchbook as well as a physical sketchbook will help me in growing more as an artist overall. I was talking earlier about if you guys want to do the same goals as me. For this one, you don't necessarily have to be drawing digitally. You can just fully go traditional if you want. I know you also don't need anything fancy. In order to do digital drawing, you don't need to pay for these expensive programs, and I know that Clip Studio recently changed to a subscription model, which it's actually not that bad. It's only paying for a whole year instead of every single month, so it's not that bad, but I understand the pain there. There's a lot of free programs that I can recommend, such as Fire Alpaca, Medibang, some applications on iPad or tablet like Ibis Paint and things like that. So if you want to also develop your digital drawing skills as well, you can use those free programs. And I know for iPad users, Procreate is a really good paid program. It's a one-time payment. It's really well. It's a really good program. I used to use it before I moved to Clip Studio and got myself like an actual drawing, like a screen tablet instead of just an iPad. So it's up to you. I really want to put a plan in forth in order to do planning in my physical sketchbook that I can use for pieces in my digital pieces. And the piece that you saw earlier that I was drawing as my VTuber model is a piece that I planned out on my sketchbook. So that piece that you saw me working on with the rabbit and the crying boy is this sketchbook page that I have that I planned out. I wrote down all that I wanted to do, and writing down these ideas in a physical sketchbook really helped me kind of manifest it. And I wrote down a list of things that I want to express and feelings and emotions that I would like to express in illustrations going forward. And this particular piece that I was working on, I'll put an in-progress picture here. I don't know if I finished it by the end of this video, but here's an in-progress picture of it. I'll post it on Twitter, so if you want to follow me on Twitter to see the final piece, go ahead and do that. But this piece that I'm working on is wanting to express a fear of abandonment and being alone. Of course, I'm not always going to be showing like negative emotions. There are some positive ones that I also want to express in a piece. So I look forward to doing that and showing you guys some processes and stuff like that. Hopefully, yeah, I hope someone can find that helpful. On to the next point. Goal number 3. Create art that is more personal to me. This goal is something I've stated more than once over the last 2 months. I wanted to create more personal art, even though I, just like many other artists, get a boost of gratification when our posts and art do well on social media for looking pretty or catering to an audience. I find myself itching for something more satisfying to my inner child. I'm not saying I will stop making that kind of art, but I want to say that I am making something for me, and that the steps of making more personal art will help me somewhat express ideas and narratives through my pieces that others might also find relatable. Like I said earlier, a year is all it takes to change and to grow, and this new year brings with it a hope that I can make more self-discoveries and become a more solid and stable person than I ever have before. I'm also hoping that a few of you will feel the same and are willing to go along with me for this period of time. This is all very new to me, and I'm not going to be setting any strict constraints on how often I will be making videos or how much art I should be making. But to keep me accountable, I will say I will post at least one video each month to document my progress. If you want to see me more than just once a month, you can check out my Twitch channel where I draw and play games, linked in the description along with my other socials, so you can see what I'm up to. If you liked this video, please give it a like, maybe subscribe, and if you didn't, then don't. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.